Hi guys, today we'd like to talk to you about daily content in MMORPGs, and I will be making a few comparisons in order to get my point across between Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft. Not directly, mind you, because I believe that within Final Fantasy XIV there are also some examples of incorrect management, but we'll get right there. Let's start with one thing at a time. What is daily content? Well, obviously something that you do every single day, right? Yes, but why do you do that? You aspire towards a goal. You want to reach a destination. And you will invest X amount of time every single day until you inevitably reach that goal. Okay, good. The rewards have to be enticing, they have to be intriguing, they have to, make you want to try and do it. Final Fantasy XIV handles this in the most excellent way in the form of Beast Tribe quests. Why? You do them every day. You can be done with all of the Beast Tribe quests of an entire expansion within 15 minutes, or maybe you want just the combat quests, in which case you will be done with, within 5 minutes. And you gain, what do you gain? You get daily XP, so you can level up your old jobs, right? So you have like your main at level 90, for example, and you want to get 80 to 90 on your red mage, which is my case. And you go and you do the dailies for the elephant people, kudos to them, right? The happy hippo fellas. And you do this very briefly, like it's just 5 minutes and you gain EXP on the short run. So like you never get your time wasted. That's what I'm saying here, right? So you get the benefit of the short term, and then long term you will get like whatever rewards you get there when you get there. At the same time, and I cannot stress this enough, Final Fantasy XIV adds an extra point, an extra layer into this intriguing thing, which is a story. So it's not just a grind, it has a story linked to that specific grind, and the story, improves as you progress with the reputation system. Now, mind you, the story has its spikes, but this it makes sense the way like you went from being like just friendly to like expanding your beast tribe area. You started doing some sort of deliveries, and now you're doing food deliveries as well, because like innovation, how are you going to preserve that? I'm being very specific. It's about the elephant beast tribe quest right here, yes. But the point is, you never feel that your time is undermined, undervalued, or wasted. You don't feel it like a chore because it doesn't take long enough in order to feel like a chore on a daily basis. And at the same time, if you miss a day, nobody cares really. Like it's not the end of the world. Like you don't care, you don't get affected. You just lost, a day. It's nothing. Yes. Now let's make another comparison to how Final Fantasy XIV's daily can feel a bit of a chore. We will get to the roulette system, to the daily roulette. Now, I know it's not mandatory. None of the daily systems that I'm talking about is mandatory, yes. But you can see how the daily roulettes, like spamming roulettes, all of them, starting from the dungeons all the way down to PvP, can feel repetitive. It can feel bothersome. Mind you, it's mind-numbing content. It's like content that you have on your main screen while you're watching something on your off screen, or like you're doing something on your second monitor. Maybe you're working, so you want to do Praetorium or something. Yes, Netflix and chill. I mean, they revamped it, but anyway, it takes a big portion of your day. Like, how long do you think it will take until you're done? You get the Lance Rage. Yeah, you can get the Crystal Tower. You can choose to get the Crystal Tower. Don't do that. Or you can get the Void Ark. Or you can get Revenaster. Or you can get Nier. Like, it slowly, you see how, like, time is relevant. And then you have the MSQ. You could maybe get Castrum. Or you could get Praetorium. Time increases. Dungeons, you can get low level dungeons, you can get high level dungeons, so on and so forth. So it's something that it depends. It can take from 2 hours all the way to 3-4 hours. It is a significant portion of your day. If you think about it, like 4 hours is, well, you sleep for 8 hours, you work for 8 hours. It's a big chunk, right? And that's what we will use in order to move to Transcend to World of Warcraft. Transcend, more like, go down. I will use Shadowlands, BFA, and Legion as examples, and to lesser extent, Dragonflight. I will start with Shadowlands and say that I believe that Shadowlands in World of Warcraft had the worst form of daily content, because not only did it take a long time to do in the form of, the Maw, right? I will not talk about the Shadowlands specific zones, but there were extra limitations that made it extra hideous. For example, in all zones in Shadowlands, at the beginning you could not fly, you had to be on the ground. This is not the case with Beast Tribe quests, of course, right? You can obviously fly, you can do them while flying. The moment you fly, you can actually go on and be, as fast as possible. you move into the mall. In the mall, you could not even mount on the beginning. You literally were it was a walking simulator, kind of like Classic. Like if you're low level at Classic, it felt exactly like that. I was a DK there, and it was that it was me, my Death's Advance, my Wraith Walk, and my Walk-in. That's how it went. So it's not just that it took a long time to do. Okay, you got punished for doing more of it in the form of the Eye of the Jailer, but at the same time, you had to be there for extended periods of time because you couldn't mount and you couldn't fly because that's why. Like literally, because that's why there were no reasoning behind this. Oh, the Maw is dangerous and you can't escape it. In the meantime, there is a bloody portal in the middle of it, and you can just like in and out. It's not immersive. It's not entertaining. And I will go on and say that the story of the Maw, nobody cared. Like they didn't. It didn't make sense. It's not that it didn't make sense. It was so forgettable and so hideous that you were based around doing your dailies. That's why you were in the mall. That was the only reason you didn't benefit from the story. But if you were one of the few people that actually wanted to go there and do it for the story objectives counted negatively towards you because as you did them, the Eye of the Jailer, I'm doing this circle. I'm not paranoid. It's supposed to be an eye. Okay, bear with me. The Eye of the Jailer would progressively start to fill up the more objectives you did. But that's the problem. The objectives for the quests would make the Eye of the Jailer go up. So by working towards that, the improvement of the campaign, you actively undermine your daily improvement for that specific day. Whereas in Final Fantasy XIV with the Beast Tribes, when you get a level up, a perk up in the reputation, they give you 3 extra quests. So instead of doing 3 that specific day, you get 6. So you see how you are rewarded always and encouraged to do X in the one game, whereas the other game just shows you or treats you a bit with more of a deterrent. Something similar could be said about the world quest in BFA. Now, the problem with world quests from Legion was not that you had so many to do. Sorry, my bad here. The problem with the world quest on Legion was that you had a bit too many to do, depending on the time, right? But the good part with it is that you could be done quickly. In BFA, they took that and they decided you can do X world quest in Y amount of time. Now in BFA, you need 2Y amount of time, 2 times Y, right? So it would take you double the time for similar rewards. At the same time, and I'm going to compare Legion and BFA here, your rewards could always Thunderforge or Titanforge, if I'm being more accurate in those 2 specific expansions, or Warforge, right? They could come in sockets. So you always felt the need to go out and try out your luck. There was a specific trinket, for example, for agility users that was super duper good that you could get from World's Quest, right? That you would want to go and try your luck. So it's not just the Gamba if the World's Quest is up, it's also the Gamba if it will Titanforge and so on and so forth. You will see that Final Fantasy XIV's gearing system entirely, of course, is more deterministic and not RNG. But the daily quests are not there to gear up your character. They are there as, silly side content, something that you can do quickly to long-term aspire, reach your goal, as we spoke about. And this is where I believe the two games, the two philosophies are vastly different because you have daily content on the one hand, daily content on the other hand, but the one actively encourages you to do it without a carrot on a stick mechanism. And this is why you know it's good. Coming from a plethora of MMOs, talking about World of Warcraft, ESO, Star Wars The Old Republic, Final Fantasy XIV, Guild Wars 2, I've tried out a lot of them, right? I mean, I was mainly a WoW Andy, but I tried out a lot of them. I realized in Final Fantasy XIV that the carrot on a stick mechanism and system does not really work if you're not a donkey. World of Warcraft had trained me to believe that I need the reward at the end in order to reach towards the reward, so I had to suffer in the process in order to accomplish the end, because the end was what mattered, right? You had to suffer. That includes the leveling process in WoW, yes, but I want to focus a bit on the daily systems. You had to suffer through X content in order to go and enjoy the Y content that you wanted to do. Or your class was terrible up until that point, after which your class now felt good to play. Final Fantasy XIV never really treated me like that. I mean, okay, if we go into the leveling system, you could talk about ARR, but again, we're gonna stick into the daily content specifically. I feel that by correctly handling daily content in an MMO, you can have it appeal to the biggest portion of the player base, the casual player. The raider raids. Okay, yes, I know. It's not something shocking to say, right? The raider, of course, will raid. Yes, but the raids come in form of daily, weekly. Well, daily depends. It depends really on the content, but daily, weekly lockouts. In World of Warcraft, for example, if you enjoy mythic raiding, you have your one lockout. If you enjoy heroic raiding, you can do it like repeatedly within that week, but you will get loot, of course, once per week. Same goes for Final Fantasy XIV. If the raid is the newest raid, you can only get loot for it, once. All these things make sense, and the raiders they are able to play the game for X amount of time. It's limited. The casual player base can play the game for ever. And I've heard a lot of criticism in Final Fantasy XIV about how there are no things to do. Like some people actually say that I've done everything, okay? When I hear this, I'm actually curious, like I'm legitimately curious to know if those people have invested into these parts, like the Beast Tribes, because it's not just it has really nice story behind it, right? I wouldn't start with ARR, by the way. If you're thinking of doing that, I would start with Endwalker and I would slowly move backwards, like towards up until Stormblood, maybe a bit skip a bit the ARR. They can get a bit grindy, but this is one of the most important parts. They have progressively getting better, and they have been constantly giving the player base something to chew on without ever feeling the need that you need to chew on this part. Whereas, like in World of Warcraft, I felt that the world quests coming all the way from the bonus objectives in Warlords of Draenor, which I know they were not really daily quests, they were a one-time thing, yes, but these were the more modern versions after the Mists of Pandaria, the daily system. These were the first implementation of, you have this extra thing to do in the world. As we moved from Warlords of Draenor to Legion, I saw a bit of improvement, but at the same time, more grindfest. More Titan forging, all those things. Then we moved it into BFA. It became more hideous because it took longer. Then we moved it to Shadowlands, and I will tell you guys something. It's no coincidence that the WoW fugees, I'm one of them, started playing Final Fantasy XIV during Shadowlands. We were terribly mismanaged. We didn't want to leave the game. You need to understand that you need to understand when you play a game for 14 years, 15 years, 18 years, some people 19 years, you don't want to quit the game. So when you go and you do that extra step, it means that it was a terrible management of you, because my passion for World of Warcraft, well, right now it's kind of dead, but it will always be there. I grew up playing that specific game. It's the management of the game that matters. Anyway, I don't really want to digress and leave and get sidetracked here, right? So the important thing is, and what I hope you guys hold from this, or like the point that I want to make in this video, is resources. Manage your resources. The unit behind Square Enix, the part of Square Enix that does Final Fantasy XIV simply has better resource management. They know how to treat their raiders. They know how to treat I would say PvPers, but let's be honest, PvP is on the improving part when it comes to Final Fantasy XIV in comparison to what it was. Though I don't know if it is kind of a niche or not. Personally, I don't enjoy this, right? But you have they know how to treat the raiders, they know how to treat their PvPs, and from what I'm seeing here, I feel like they're doing a very good job when it comes to treating the casual players, be it in the form of the extremely tedious, but it's still there, housing system, clunky, yes, you have to clip through all those walls, or, base tribes, crafting, gathering professions, all those things. It's good to be in the game. And hey, you know what? What's better than having your fellow bard play some music for you in Lim Solominsa? Parts need to be implemented in every MMORPG, and hell, you know what? I will be preaching for that until I stop playing those games, which will probably be the day I die. Uh, Now, I will end the video in a bit of a grim note, I guess, but yeah. If you enjoyed this, thank you for watching. Remember, a like helps, a sub really helps, and drop a comment. Let me know. Okay? Alright, hope you enjoy your day. Bye-bye.